Yeah. Check. What's up, selectors? It's Select Screen here. Shout out to Kim Seaborn of Cross Syndicate Records. You guys definitely need to go check this song out, man. WandaVision. We are going to be talking about WandaVision. If you missed the early morning, yes, I stayed up early for y'all. Stream. I'm sorry because the stream didn't work out. Thanks, Comcast. But ultimately, we got our reaction video up on our YouTube. Go check us out at linktr.ee/select screen. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the Cash App at $5ELECT. 5CREEN. I slept wrong, y'all, and so my neck is like super stiff. I'm like, but today we are just going to be chatting. Shout out to my man Wrestling God Streams. Unfortunately, his father just tested positive for COVID. Man, so sorry to hear that. Hope and pray that everything works out for you, buddy, and we'll definitely be lifting him up for sure. All right, guys, on a positive note, make sure to do me a favor. Hit that like, that share, and that subscribe button for me. Oh, my auto one's not working, but there we go. Hit that button for me. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, or if you're catching this later on Twitch, really appreciate it so much. All right. So I'm ready. You're ready. Let's talk about WandaVision episode. We can talk about 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I think that's cool. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's go. All right. So, not going to show any footage, just to catch you guys up. We tried to live stream just my reaction last night. So what you're seeing right now is what we streamed. And this show has been so popular that YouTube kicked me. They kicked me, I think, in Australia and I want to say Germany. They blocked the video and everything, and all cover art that I made, totally original. It's their photo, but it's cover art and just a reaction like you guys are seeing right now. And they kicked me, so it was really weird. We had like 32 selectors, man, on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Appreciate you guys so much. Everything's just catching up, man. We've been putting in the work. As you see, the lighting's getting better in here. We got the hue lights going on. The stream is becoming very successful, and it's because of you guys. So I just want you guys to know. I'm just pulling up my notes too. Just want to say thank you. Wrestling says I'm not trying to be dramatic, but talking to you and your channel has been an escape for me throughout this whole thing. Hey, man, that's amazing to hear. But more importantly, like I said, we just hope your dad gets better. That's the big thing. So, and I mean that. I'm gonna go to my camera on this. I mean that, man. I really do. When I say we're lifting up, we will definitely do that. All right. So yeah, real talk. All right. So let's jump into this WandaVision thing, man. If you guys missed episode 1, go check it out. I'm just going to briefly recap my thoughts on episode 1, because I had some time to literally sleep on it. Episode 1 was so good. I gave it a B. I'm going to stand by that B because I wanted to give some room. It could be a little bit better. We can get some more action in there and whatnot. But this show showed what it is. It just showed what it was in a really cool way in both episodes. One of the criticisms that I saw in watching other people's reviews afterwards is that episode 2 kind of falls into the same mold as episode 1, and I think that's a little harsh. I'm going to give this episode as well a B, for the fact that it let us in on a little bit more of the world. and we'll kind of break that down, and I'll give you my opinions and the things that stood out to me, like we always do. So starting out, episode 1 was very Dick Van Dyke, even more than I Love Lucy, but it was really, 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 really Dick Van Dyke when I think about it. This episode was much more Bewitched from the jump. Bewitched from the animated Hanna-Barbera kind of look to the intro, which even in that there were a lot of weird and strange things going on. Like the characters are smiling and waving or whatever, and then they kind of go, or something like that. It's super, super high quality art. So cool to see that. Wrestling asked if we can talk a little longer. After this, I got to go pick up my daughter from school, man. So we'll kind of stay on topic here, but we can always, man, we got to get you a Twitter, bro. Hop on Twitter. Well, that's where we can do some more chatting and whatnot. Yeah. So let's here's my notes from this. The whole show this whole episode, again, Bewitched, is focused on this talent show that Wanda and Vision are going to go do to kind of fit in. And that's what we keep seeing, is that they're trying to just fit into this Westview, I believe, it's Westview, new neighborhood. And so instead of just laying low and being quiet, they keep doing all this extra stuff. So they show this magic trick that they're going to do. Very simple, it's a big box. Wanda's going to get into it. There's a trap door. Vision says abracadabra. She goes behind the door. He opens the door. She's not there. That's the whole premise of what's supposed to happen in the episode. And of course, things go terribly wrong, but not just terribly wrong in a funny way. They go wrong in another kind of scary way. And I'm not a horror fan at all. I was one that when I watched Get Out, I was like, okay, all right, one of those. But this show just peppers in a little bit of, there's something off. And I felt like in this episode, they kind of switched the amount of off or crazy from episode 1. In episode 1, I thought it was really funny and there were odd things about it. In episode 2, there's a lot of odd things that are happening and it's sprinkled with a little bit of funny. But it didn't seem like a different tone. One, because we jumped into kind of a different era. Yes, it's still in black and white, but Bewitched is very different from the Dick Van Dyke Show. And that's what it felt like. It was like, if Wanda was on Bewitched, this is what it would be like. One of the big things you've probably seen in trailers and whatnot is the trope of a married couple not being in the same bed, right? And so they're not in the same bed. One's in one bed, one's in another. And they hear this bumping throughout the night. And they play it up for laughs, but we all kind of know something's trying to break into Wanda's vision, for lack of a better way. Wrestling, we'll see how that goes, man. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's a bumping throughout the night. Vision really didn't want to go out and look. Normally the wife's like, hey, something's going on, go check it out, and Vision's like, in a matter of speaking. Wrestling says, I've been watching the TV show Superstore. Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard that's really funny. So they eventually kind of blow it off. Wanda brings the bed together, and then it kind of bewitched, and like the sheets become one sheet. So that was just kind of a cool little touch. And it was nice. My thoughts on this was, I love how authentic it was. to what Bewitched was. I used to love Nick at Night as a kid. That's what I watched. And it just really kind of set this tone of like, no, we're still in this weird place, right? Wrestling Says the ending to episode 2 is crazy, and that we're going to get to that for sure. So eventually Wanda goes out, and obviously there's spoilers in this, guys. Goes outside during the day. She finds the helicopter that we've seen in the trailer, the little toy, and it's in color. And she's kind of looking at it weird, and Agnes pops out and says, hey, here's this rabbit. This rabbit for your magic trick, your magic show. And I loved how Wanda, she knows like everything's fine. Then something's really wrong. Something's really, really wrong. And she's going to figure it out. And then something interrupts her. And again, it's just like her attention is always bouncing around. And it kind of makes the audience feel the same way. You're always bouncing around. And it's really just fun. It's fun to kind of walk through that with her. Agatha. I think I said Agnes. Agatha. The bad lady in the show. So that keeps happening. She gives her some advice. Basically tells Wanda that she's terrible at doing things. And to... basically she's got to impress this not new lady, but she runs the country club, and that's where we're introduced to Monica Rambeau, who gives us kind of a fake name. She doesn't really know who she is. It's just an interesting thing. And again, when a radio breaks, this radio it's Stark Industries, and it's kind of going off, and it seems like a bomb, but it's not. It's just this weird, oh my gosh, what is going on? If this happened in real life, everyone would freak out kind of thing. We hear people from S.W.O.R.D. I think it's the guy from Ant-Man calling out to Wanda. And this lady who's running the talent show or fundraiser thing, she's like, something's wrong with you, breaks the glass that's in her hand, and again, red all over her hands. And then we get snapped out into kind of back into Vision. And Vision, again, Paul is just, I had no idea. I keep saying this. His comedic timing is incredible. I mean, for me, I kind of liked Wanda more than I liked Vision going into this. But the first 2 episodes, I have just 180'd. Every time Vision is on the screen, he is amazing. Vision's kind of mission in this episode, I wouldn't even call it a mission, but he's joining the neighborhood watch at the same time. And again, just simple things. We know Vision's a robot. He puts some gum in his mouth, accidentally swallows the gum, and it messes up all his gears. That effectively makes him drunk. And I'm telling you, he's just hilarious. Like, we've never seen this side of Vision before. And he's just so hilarious. So when they come together to actually do the magic show, Vision's out there like floating around. He's showing off all his powers, and Wanda's like trying to correct things. And again, it just makes for a funny, fun, Marvel-esque feel to watch. But then all of a sudden Wanda has to she has to make up for Vision's mistake of not putting her inside of the box to make her disappear. And they bring Monica through, and Monica's like, hey, how did that happen? I was backstage, and then all of a sudden magically I was in this box. So again, unnerving things happening throughout. And I just felt like as I'm watching these episodes, I'm like, what is going on here? Agnes says this. She says someone says the devil's in the details, and Agnes says that's not the only place. So it sounds like My theory of Dormammu instead of Mephisto being in WandaVision is going to end up being false. I think they're going to go with Mephisto now. And I don't know how I feel about that. He's obviously pulling the strings here, if you know the comics. If you don't, okay, spoilers, but you have to know something else is going on here. Wrestling says, is it 2 episodes a week? My understanding is no. And that's another critique that I just have. And I kind of said this in episode 1, is that I was okay with the length of the episode in episode 1 and 2 because there were 2 episodes. But next week, I believe it'll only be 1 episode, and it's going to be like nail biting for me because I'm going to be like, what's going on? And here's why. We talked about, Dottie was the lady with the hands. Dottie. And Dottie and Wanda, I mean, they just did not get along from the jump. During the commercial, if you guys noticed during these commercials, and I didn't talk about this a lot in my episode 1 reaction, but in that first commercial, there is, it's for a toaster. And they talk about heat being on both sides, which again, are we getting a Hell kind of reference there? But that was made by Stark. And if you notice in that, the timer on that is like tick, 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 tick. Like it's getting faster and faster. So I think the episodes are going to kind of be like that. They'll start out kind of slow, kind of, in this episode, bewitched, blah, 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 blah. But as we get towards the end of the episode, things just ramp up very, very fast. And we kind of saw that in both episodes. This time, this commercial was the Strucker, obviously Von Strucker, who helped create Wanda and Pietro. It's a watch, and it's a very old school man commercial. Like a man should have like 2 accessories, his wife and his watch. And I was like, ooh, you guys are gonna get some feedback on that one. But it's the time period, right? And as you look at the watch, the same thing happens. It's like tick, 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 tick. And on there, if you look really closely, there's a Hydra symbol. And obviously Strucker, which is Von Strucker from Age of Ultron. Thought that was a really neat, cool little Easter egg. One of the only ones that was like standing out to me. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of Marvel Easter eggs. They seem to be coming by those commercials the most. I'm sure there's things in the background, but I haven't went through and paused it frame by frame yet. Monica, like I said, makes her appearance. And I was thinking maybe Vision was completely broken because this gum is like in his gears. And they go to this like flat 2D art look. It's just hilarious. It's really, really done. Really, it's done well. As they're doing this magic show that I was telling you guys about, everyone keeps saying for the children, and it's a droning thing. It's so unnerving. Hey, we're doing this, fundraiser thing for the children, and everyone in the crowd goes, for the children. Wait a minute, give me my camera. Fundraiser for the kids. For the children. And it's like, why? That's weird. And by the way, we haven't seen any children. You never see any kids in these first 2 episodes. Now we know there's going to be kids because there's a Halloween episode eventually. But I'm halfway wondering if these kids will be created to, well, we'll get there. I'll tell you why they're created. The end of the episode, again, everything's kind of okay. And Wanda and Vision come back into their house, right back on this new couch. It's a newer couch, more like the Bewitched set. And they kiss, and Wanda turns, and she literally inflates. And I'm going, oh, okay, because the whole thing with Wanda and Vision in the comics is he's an android, she's a human. children, it doesn't make sense. Let's just keep it, we're a clean channel. It just doesn't make sense. Vision's always talking about, like, I don't eat food. Like, oh, he's not, he's a robot. Let's just leave it at that. So she magically becomes pregnant. Wrestling says, he's just hoping his dad gets through. Definitely, bro. Definitely. And she becomes pregnant. And then all of a sudden, they hear that loud banging noise again. And they're thinking that it's just the tree hitting the window. Well, they go outside and we get the clip finally. I'm glad they pulled from the trailer, these early scenes. It's the scene where the beekeeper comes out of the manhole and out of the sewers. And when he does this, man, it is just the tone. We're like, oh, she's gonna have twins. She's gonna have her babies. And then this guy literally like crawls his way out, and dude, we see the shield, the sword logo again, and it's in this kind of honeycomb look. He's got bees all around him. Obviously, he's a beekeeper. And I'm just going, dude, this is weird. And the craziest thing happens. Wanda literally just says, no. And so at this point in time, she's aware that the world around her is not real. And she says no, and we literally rewind. I thought this was such a cool thing because, one, my kids are young. They've never used a VCR before. So that effect for them is like, what just happened, But for me, it's a totally different thing. Like, I know what it's like to be kind and rewind VHS tapes. So that was really interesting. They rewind, they kind of play through that same scene in a sense where they kiss, and Vision now comes into color. And again, it starts with the red. And with both these characters' colors being red, primarily, it's just incredible. It's incredible to see what they're doing with this. Everything turned into color. Wanda is now in color, and they're framed again in that honeycomb pattern. Blew my mind. I thought, this is it. Wanda's already establishing no. If she says in the next episode more mutants, I'm considering that the no more mutants line. That works. This episode, again, just the pacing is why it really works. It's cool, it's weird, it's super weird. Wrestling says, are you going to eventually do reviews for Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And gotta go, but thanks so much for your support. Dude, again, we're lifting you up, bro. And we will be doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Absolutely. We're actually going to drop, the Mortal Kombat movie did some stuff today. So we'll also have a video on that. That'll probably be an upload. It probably won't be live. So we might as well go ahead and wind down now too. Like I said, I gotta go get my daughter here from school, but this show is a must-see. If you like Marvel movies at all, if you like superhero movies, or if you just like good thrillers, I think we're in for a really, really good thriller here, and it's only going to get better. I think it's only going to get better if the pacing continues this trajectory. So that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I know this is a longer video. The other one was only 10 minutes. Trying to keep these shorter. But hey, I hope you guys are excited about it. What did you think of WandaVision? Leave a comment. Hit that like button for me so I know how you're feeling about it. If you liked it, if you hated it, if I missed something, you're like, man, what about this? What do you think? Want to give a shout out to Mario, who hit me up on the last theories video, which was the video, 2 videos before this. And he brought up a good point of what he wanted to see as far as Captain America coming back, and how cool would it be if Cap comes back as Captain Hydra, or, you know, basically the evil version of Captain America in a different timeline because of what Wanda's doing. Could be happening. Who knows? I'm super excited. I hope you guys are excited about it too. And we're going to keep doing these reaction videos. We'll be playing some Spider-Man too. We need to get that finished up. So don't worry about that. We will definitely make that happen. All right, guys. I need you to do one thing for me. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see if I can get the cool button to work this time. No, you're not going to do it. All right, OBS. That's cool. We'll just do it manually. Make sure to hit the bell too so you know when we're going live. Whew, this show is so good. Also, guys, we're on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Definitely check us out on the Cash App, $5 ELECT 5 CREEN. Till next time, be kind to one another. Enjoy WandaVision, and I'm out.